Sam Proctor, 53 games. I got you down for '08 to 2011.
Hmm.
Did you redshirt your freshman year?
I did. I redshirted my entire class.
Okay.
That kind of was a thing of Stoops, especially when he had like loaded classes in front of you. He would redshirt. We had that '06 class in front of us, and a lot of them were redshirted. So it was their year to play. But man, my entire class actually got redshirted.
Now, Ryan Broyles was in your class too, huh?
Right.
Really talented guy.
Yeah. I had a good class of guys. And like I said, the class before was loaded with Sam Bradford. He was a redshirt. He got redshirted. DeMarco Murray and Gerald McCoy, like at least 4 or 5 first-round draft picks were like redshirted. So just a lot of talent at the school at one time.
And so you got the luxury of actually sitting behind Nick Harris and watching that silent assassin just play some good football, huh?
Yep. Nick helped recruit me there. And I kind of sat behind him. And then they started working him more at the nickelback. And I was really behind like Lindy Holmes and Nick Harris, kind of were the older guys that were taking the reps when I first got there. And they had moved Reggie Smith to cornerback at the time, but I was getting recruited. It was him and Nick Harris were their safeties.
Oh, I forgot about old Reggie Smith, man. That guy was a stud, man.
Yeah.
He was a big-time athlete, man. So you ended up playing till 2011, and you're a fan favorite for sure and hard-hitting safety, but you were actually recruited as you played quarterback at Pearland, correct?
Right. I was really recruited by every other school in the country to play offense. I had a pretty good resume, especially being out here in Texas and playing quarterback. I was more of like a spread style quarterback, threw when I needed to, but ran the football a lot. So most schools wanted me to come, and they would give me everything. Well, we'll try to redshirt your quarterback. If it doesn't work out, we're just going to make you a big tailback, because I was about 6'1.5", 205, and I could run and cut and all that good stuff. So Coach Stoops wasn't sure what to do with me when I first got there, but they were already backed up at tailback with Chris Brown and Marco Murray. Oh, he let me go to defense, and they instantly saw I didn't mind hitting people. So they were like, we'll work with them over here, and that's kind of how it went. But I had no real background on defense, so for me to step in at OU, earn a starting job and start playing, like most guys who come there, they have been playing defensive back and stuff, throughout their high school career.
That's some pretty, really impressive, actually, man. So while you're playing safety, did the quarterback position, like, how did it probably helped you really, like, to be able to, like, I was reading something about you were able to like see three-step drops and like 5-step drops and kind of, what you were going to do there?
I understood some of the giveaways on offense, especially mainly through the quarterback position and the alignment. So if a quarterback's going to throw quick, the running back's not going to be as deep in the backfield. You can get up there for pass protection. When the running back's deeper, it's probably more of a run. But then in the shotgun, running back's close. If that quarterback pops his feet right away, I knew that was fast game coming. Stuff that the inside receivers would do when they need to block a linebacker, they're going to cheat down. I was like, oh, he's doing that so he can block. It's a run, That's what helped me, because I didn't know all the different stuff other people knew about defense. Like some of the stuff Coach Venables was throwing at me, I was like, never heard of that, but I know running fast. There's only 2 things going to happen when that ball snaps. They're going to either hand it off or you're going to try to throw it. I mean, don't make it too complicated.
Right, for sure. So you ended up getting did you sign a free agent contract with Detroit, or?
Oh, man. Actually, what happened was I tested decent at the pro day, and I had a decent all-star game at the Casino Dale all-star game out in Arkansas. and that got me a tryout.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm big time OU player, whatever. I'm getting a tryout, but I go to the tryout and they sign me like, hey, and I'll never forget the guy's words. He was like, I don't know how he said, we didn't really miss you in the draft. You didn't have enough playing time in OU for us to draft you, but welcome to the Lions. So I got signed. It was me, Ryan Broyles got drafted to the Lions, Travis Lewis, and Ronell Lewis. They all
nice.
3 went in the draft. I came as kind of the walk-on free agent, and then I got signed.
Nice.
So it was kind of a big OU connection down there. You got 4 players on the team, in that little stint at one time. So
yeah, that's crazy.
That was a cool picture to take on after rookie minicamp.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet. There's a few teams like the Ravens. They got quite a few of you guys go through there, and Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't really know too much about like what Sam Proctor had to do to like provide for his family at such a young age. And I know your father passed away when you were 6 years old, I believe, and you just faced a ton of adversity, bud, and just kind of took it on and just took life by the horns. And it's really motivational, but I know a lot of people don't know like what happened there, and maybe you could explain a little bit.
I mean, you did your homework, but yeah, my father passed when I was 6. I had 2 older sisters, one that was 11 and 13. I had a younger, and it just left for me like most American homes, like the man being there is kind of that sounding board for a lot of things, even though we don't always get credit for it,
Yeah, for sure.
Being there means a lot to your kids and life and things like that. So, yeah, when that happened, I just saw that void, and his presence was big. It was kind of like missing the middle linebacker of your defense or the quarterback of an offense. And it's like, well, who starts helping mend that gap are those plays that, if I can make a football terminology,
yeah,
and who's going to start making these plays now, whether it just be little things like, hey, home security, just make sure the doors are locked. Let's get a dog, all these different things. And it definitely was an organic process where I didn't know, what I was really doing. I just knew that something had to be done, and it kind of forced me to grow up a little bit, think on a higher level, think on a more mature level. How could I help my mom? How could I be a strong example to my siblings? And naturally, I just kind of took that role and just matured my life much faster,
Nice. I know. Excuse me. I'm trying to get into that myself. I'm in my second year of organizational leadership. Excuse me, man. But so I'm like, I want to get like the programs to places that they can't get access to, programs like single parent homes. Like for the parents that have to work 2 or 3 jobs, they can't get off by 6 p.m. to go to a parent class, and kids that don't have mentoring programs or like after school, anything like that, man. It sucks, man. There's a lot of kids that get left behind out there that shouldn't be left behind just because of their their economic status or whatever. And
or lack of, hands to go around. You said mom's working. You talking about little league football games and excuse me on that, little league games and trainings, all that different stuff. A lot of that stuff was picked up by my youth coaches at the time. They would come pick me and my brother up and take us to our games, practices. And mom got there when she could. So, man, that old saying, takes a village to raise a child. I'm with you. People need assistance. Not even sometimes with the parents' report. It's just like, hey, it's only one car. You only can be one place at one time. Your kids are not able to drive yet, and if you got to keep the lights on, keep gas prices are super high now, like you got to keep gas in your vehicle. Well, then who's going to get them to these places they need to be that keeps them growing on the right way socially and things like that? So, yeah, it's more than people ever recognize.
Sports is a great way out of a situation. Like you took your shot, you went to OU and you got yourself an education. And like if the football thing didn't work out, you got your degree, your education to fall back on. And so
Yeah,
important, man. So
it
important.
helps. Yeah.
So what are you up to these days?
Man, I real estate invest out here in the Texas area. I have a business partner, and we take on projects. We flip and sell homes. We just started our own like ground up project that we're working on. So I got about 2.5 years in the game on that. I've done some different things before I found this. I've taught school and coached football. So I'm also a licensed Texas teacher, because I do enjoy giving back to kids. And now I do it mainly through my training program. I do have Proctor Athletics, which is my training company where, I like getting kids around the age between 8 to 18 and training them on what it takes to really, a lot of kids say, I'm going to D1, I want to play at these major colleges. I'm like, and when you get there, there's a regiment that you got to be able to keep up with the workouts and the schooling and teaching more than just sports, because the sports part of college lasts maybe 2 or 3 hours of the day. It's the other stuff
Right.
that can get you off the field or on the field as well. So giving away stuff, that nuggets or wisdom that you only can have if you've been in those locker rooms, you talk to those coaches, you know exactly what they're looking for. And parents need to hear that too. They're also, well, my son's this, he's going to go to Oklahoma State, he's going to go to Texas. It's like, well, everybody's 6'6", like that.
Yep.
You got to have production on top of talent, on top of some intangibles that set you apart, because as you grow up, you find out that athletic, there's a fast kid in every little part of the city. So it ain't just going to be you and your friends on the block you're going against now. You're going to be competing against, like, who I compete against most of the time, Quinn Carter from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's like you have y'all might split time or they might throw y'all out there together. It's just like, hey, man, this guy can jump 10-5 broad jump. You're jumping 10-5. So what separates the two?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty, I think, of most college coaches at school. You have your pick a lot of times. The backup is no real drop off. It's like that's how it's supposed to be. And I know Brent Venables is going to help bring some of that back to you. He's like, my twos could play ones at Baylor, Tech. You're supposed to be a starter at whatever other university. You might just not be starting here because the guy in front of you might really be a second-round draft pick, a first-round draft pick. You might be a third or fourth-round draft pick. Still pretty good.
Right. Right, for sure.
If you go to Tech or you go to Iowa State, you should be the guy. And he had a great way of making us compete and practice, making it very competitive practices, which made it easier on game day. That was his thing, make practice tough. So game day, you can really fly around and have fun.
Yeah, I talked to Corey. Corey. Have you heard Corey Warren? He's a receiver at OU, but he runs the KB3 camp there in Houston.
Yeah, I know Corey Warren. Me and him are real close.
Yeah, that was my favorite Sooner of all time, man. That dude, the OG Deuce, man. It was pretty cool talking to him, man. But he's there with Keith. What's it? Keith Blackman, maybe, I think is his name.
Okay.
But he's running that KB3. Is that similar to what you're doing? The training you're doing?
Yes, it's on those lines, and I think he's gotten a little more advanced with getting it regulated through some stuff. But yeah, it's a way to give back to kids, be that instrument for them to not only grow physically, but help them understand, like, hey, at this age, this is what you want to start doing. If you want to continue to separate yourself, So me and him are very like-minded. I probably really need to connect with him and go out there and see some things that he's got going. I think we had lunch maybe a year ago, and he told me exactly what he was putting his hands on. So I'm proud to see he's getting that rocking and rolling.
Oh man, he's got an Adidas team over there. Son, them boys can ball, man. They're like
Okay.
probably like top 3 in the nation, I think.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, man, they're real good. So like you were talking about the athletes getting started early. They have to get started early because now they're a different kind of beast now, man. Like,
Mhm.
God dang, I can't believe some of the like the dudes running like 4.7 40s at like 330-40 pounds. I'm like that's unheard of, That's crazy.
Yeah.
So wild, man. So now you're just kind of kicking back on Pearland and doing the training thing and
Testing, training.
so so you're talking about Brent Venables, right?
Yeah.
It's like he's just so whole, man. Like it's just that's what separates him from like a coach like the one that left for Southern California, like the transformational coaching and the transactional coaching.
Hmm.
Like Venables is more transformational because like he wants to see you grow as a person over a ball player.
Right.
And Riley's just like, here, I'm going to make you better at this, and then you're going to go on and you're going to do this. We'll probably never talk again after this. So, can you explain what it's like to play for Coach Venables?
Oh man, he is a master motivator. I'm pretty laid back, man. I'm from Houston. I'm back. It takes a lot for a guy. I naturally pump myself up, but the way I do that is, we hinted on some of the stuff I've been through growing up. I can get in my zone, but he was one of the first guys I met, as a young adult. It's like, man, this guy fires me up. He motivates me. I may have think I did something, great. And he's like, now you did that, and I want to see you do. He had another level that he could help you think about. And he wanted to see you get it done. He high intense. He loves what he's doing. You coach defense or coach kids or young men without energy. How can you be laid back with 18 and 19-year-olds? I mean, we're cranked up. We're in some of the highest levels of our lives as far as energy and stuff like that. So he can match that energy even with young people. And I know we're so excited, every guy who played for him on defense, to see him come back to OU after having the success that he had at Clemson, winning those national titles. It's like, man, bring that back, because OU has not even been in a national title game now since 2009. And that was Brent Venables was still here. So we're looking at a 10, 11-year drought since OU has even played for all of it. You got some college playoff appearances, but no national title appearances. So last time we were even in a national title game, he was your defensive coordinator. So I think that says something.
You were actually suited up for that game too, huh?
Yeah. I suited up for that game and played primary special team, got subbed in on some packages and stuff. That was like my red shirt freshman year. But yeah, I was definitely in.
Hell of an experience, man, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that sets Venables apart is that he's able to take accountability for when he's wrong, and he's not afraid to voice it to people. Like, hey, I did this wrong.
I put my players in a bad position. He takes it on the chin first, and that's one thing. If you say, I also learned about him is like when you fall short, be man enough to say, I didn't have him in the best position. Don't put that on my players. My scheme wasn't right today. They were ready to play, but I wasn't there. And when you play with somebody like that for 4 years, you can take that kind of into your life now. Like if something happens now, I don't have time to be blaming one of my children. It's like, no, I could have put you in a better situation. I could have did this better. Let's work from there. And that's him. That's him.
Cool.
And he'll get on national TV and say it. I mean, he don't try to hide it.
Yeah, man. Like it takes a great man to be a great coach. It does, for sure, man.
That's good. Yeah, you're right.
You just have to go above and beyond. Like when I coached little league football up in Wyoming, and I did fifth and sixth graders, and like it was hard dealing with the parents, man. Like they'd be like, "Oh, why don't you play my kid?" And I'm like, "Well, why don't you come to practice for once and like like I don't feel safe putting your kid out there because I can't teach him how to tackle because he won't watch, like he won't pay any kind of attention, and I'm not gonna put him out there to get hurt, like it's crazy, man. Like we were talking about earlier, like parents, they could really push away a kid away from sports. And I know for myself, the game of football is just translates to life in so many ways, man.
Yep.
Like to be able to trust somebody and just like kind of throw yourself out there, man, and just have faith that this guy's gonna be right here to pick me up,
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So I like to cruise off with a who, a what, and a why. So for the who, if you could Oklahoma drill with anybody, who would it be?
Oh man, Jermaine Gresham.
Oh, big dog, huh?
Big dog. Jermaine Gresham made me a better football player my true freshman year and really all through college. Like I was physical. I love to hit, but man, that guy, from the time I met him, I knew, man, this guy's a beast. And to practice him made me more physical. He was so big, but he was so agile and had so much speed for his size. He can get in the slot. You have to cover him and body him, and I know I'm personally better because I knew how good he was. So it was like, man, when I make good plays on him or tackle him, then maybe that's where I can be. Because he was, every once in a while you meet a guy like, nah, he's going to play in the NFL and he's going to be a first-round draft pick. Like from the time I saw him, like, okay, that's what that looks like. 6'7", 250, 260, 4'6", 40, but like played like a big guy too, and man, I love going against him in practice. We love going at it in practice. And he would say sometimes, like, man, you better keep that up all day if we're going to play like that. It's like, yep. And I don't know, man. We had great time off the field. We had great time on the field. But that's one guy, if I just could put the pads on, like, man, let's go at it 3 rounds, I'll choose Jermaine.
Nice, man. Very nice. That's pumping each other up, interaction with each other, that's big time. I went to the OU Nebraska game, the 50th anniversary. And I was like watching the team warm up, and like they didn't interact with each other. They barely even talked to each other, barely touched each other, man. I'm like, what are you guys like? Body language, you can tell a lot about from somebody body language, and them boys weren't ready to play football, man.
Yeah.
So what is your definition of success?
Right off the head, I think success is taking what you have and making more with it. Everybody doesn't get the same cards out the gate. Everybody doesn't have the same gifts, but if you take what you have and figure out how to enhance that, then you're successful because you didn't sit on your God-given talent. You didn't make excuses. Well, hey, I'm not Jermaine Gresham. I'm not saying like, well, no, take what you have and expand that as far as it can go. And that is success, and I don't do the comparison games. I believe that'll kill your joy right away, man. That'll rob you of a lot of great stuff. But I do push myself. I'm my own critic. So if this is what I got, let's say April 5th, whatever I started the year with, have I taken that and increased it?
Nice, man.
Have I taken that and done more with it? I take that advice I got and actually use it. That's success to me, man. When you take what you get and you make a sandwich out of it,
Nice. Hell
you
yeah.
get 2 pieces of bread and some meat. You got to figure out how to put that together and get you a whole sandwich. So that's me. That's where I'm at even right now. But I think my whole life I've been operating off of that, even if I didn't know how to put it in words like I just did.
Right. I like it, man. I like it. So, and finally, why the University of Oklahoma?
OU, for me, it was the guys. It was the team that sold me and made me stay. I had ideas of leaving even at one point when I didn't think I was playing enough for my talent and the work I put in. I had friends playing at I wouldn't say smaller universities, but universities that were not ranked as high as OU, but they were getting on the field. They were getting a chance to live it up. And I just didn't think I was getting my fair share. But it was my teammates. It was those guys that I really built those relationships with outside of the football season. That's why football season, 16, 15 games, not even college, I'm thinking pros, but 14 games. And then the rest of this time you're in college, that's the off season. That's the time you're with those guys. So my teammates, they are my brothers. Like, man, they're my brothers. They're my friends. We're still very close. We're looking forward to spring game, getting together and hanging out. But my closest friends now, like our moms are starting to have issues with health, and our kids are getting older. You call your friends from college, and your friends from college are the guys you play with.
Right.
You know, me and Frank Alexander are super close still. Me and Gabe Lynn, 2 classes under me, but
Gabe Lynn,
super close. Yeah.
Well, we be lighting some dudes up back there.
Yeah, he'll knock your head off. Like, I love when he came because he reminded myself just naturally heavy head, like whatever he puts his head on, it's like, oh, you don't go back. You know, and that was my thing. Most people I hit, they went backwards. If I guys like somebody like, man, he just have a heavy head. Like when you touch it, it's like, you know, you feel it. But Gabe Lynn was one of those guys, Corey Nelson. Guys that were a little younger, but man, that's that brotherhood, brother. Like you might get a guy who's 2 or 3 years younger than you, but he might latch on to you differently than guys even in your class, you know?
Yeah.
So I dealt with that as well. But yeah.
Cool,
that
man.
was part of it.
Yeah. What I want to leave with a quote here that it's a focus on the daily instead of the dream, but let the dream shape what you do daily.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's good.
That's just like hard. It's a good thing to try and live by, you know, daily, and look at like 2 hours from now and not like 2 months from now. And just do the little things and it'll all work out, man.
Keep coming, man. I appreciate that, Robert.
For sure, man.
Good talk. I'm gonna put that away.
Yeah. Can I get a Boomer Sooner on my way out?
Oh man, Boomer Sooner, horns down always, no matter what day of the week it is.
Any day of the week.
Yeah, man, I should have did. I have some stuff getting done in my house. I'm at my sister. I usually have a room with my jerseys and all that good stuff. My Letterman's up, but no, it's straight Sooner Nation. You know, and I think we're all a little excited to see what they can do under Brent Venables coaching them. He's going to get the right guys in there. I think he's going to build it with defense first, which is something that's kind of been lacking. But, yeah, players are going to come to Oklahoma because once you meet the guys in that little area of Norman, it's an energy there that got started way before we got there, but you can feel it when you get in. Like, man, this is where you come to play football.
Yeah, for
Some
sure.
schools, they go there to do excellent, but when you get in that arena in Norman, it's like, this is about playing football, man. So,
That's giving me chills right now just talking about it, man.
Yeah, you got fired up. I'm looking at your OU thing in the background with the basketball. And I'm like,
man. That's my I usually have a Texas thing underneath it for the trash to fall into.
I love it, Robert, man. That's right.
For sure, man. But you going to the spring game?
Yeah, I'll be at the spring game, cool, man. So if you're in a place to be, holler at me.
I will for
Try
sure.
To help pack the palace.
Yeah.
They've been saying, let's get in there and just give that place that energy. Really want to show Coach Venables respect and support. Like, hey, we've been kind of waiting for you to be a head coach. Let's do it.
Yeah. And it's I was reading a crazy stat. He had 480 sacks while he was at Clemson, his teams.
Oh man, they got after it. He had a couple defenses. I was like, man, they remind me of our 2009 defense.
Well, that need
they're smothering people.
Mm-hmm. So nasty, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Sam, and we'll talk at you later, big dog.
Appreciate you too. You're my brother now, man. Boomer Sooner.
That's right.
Thank you for having me on, Robert. You got my number. Hit me up anytime, bro. I got you,
brother. All right. Thank you.
All right.